We did talk about the game when we got into training. Wilford was talking about how he was happy for us. Even after the game in the locker room, he was disappointed for us because he knew we defended and we attacked very well.
Wilfried, yesterday we were reflecting on 23 shots, 5 on frame, nothing to show for it. And I said, that kind of says to me that you're probably going to spend some time on finishing this week. And he explained that while a lot of time will be spent on finishing, he has to be really careful because you can choreograph that moment, but we all know in the game that moment oftentimes requires spontaneity from players like you.
Yeah.
What's your reaction to that?
I think my reaction is, like in the game, everything's sporadic, and I feel like I'm the type of player to create something out of nothing when it doesn't seem as clear. So I think Wilford explaining how like those moments that happen in the game, those shots are not just structured, they're like in the fluidity of the game. So I think it's just, I don't think we need to work on finishing too much. I think we just didn't hit the back of the net, and it's one of those games that we're getting those right spots, and it's just a matter of time.
Right, but I think about that goal you scored or assisted on with Dwan Jones in the season last year. I mean, that looked choreographed, except for the midfield tackle that was one, and then you get out of that. That looked choreographed, and yet you're telling me that it's moments like that where, you identify the free man, you get into the space, and you make it all happen.
Yeah, for sure. I remember that play. I don't know. I think I was just remembering it. I think I was just trying to beat the guy and dribble towards goal until I saw Dewan open for the space. I think it's just like the ball that Cujo gave me versus Red Bulls with the header I scored. It was like I was just in the spot, and that wasn't choreographed for him to cross it. But, I think we just have so much freedom within each other. Like, even when Sheba scored, and he's a center back, and he was making a run as a striker. So I think it's just about the right spaces and the right times. But in terms of, like, our identity in the team is really strong in terms of how we want to project how we play.
Wilfried said a couple weeks ago that the attack ends when we win the ball back. I can't think of a better principle that fits the way you've played since you got here than that. Sometimes we make the wrong decision. Sometimes the decision we make doesn't come to fruition. But you're a fighter to get that ball back.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've had to develop within you, or has that always been a trigger for you in a match, to win that ball back?
Yeah, I think when I got here, Wilford and the staff were telling me about the identity in the team, and they looked at my profile and thought that would be a good fit because if you've followed my career, I've played in a lot of different types of teams. I was at Rebels. I was at,
So you know that press.
yeah, I know that press. And Minnesota, I had a coach who was from England who liked to play a different style, and then now I have a coach from France who likes to play a different style. So I think I adapt pretty well, but getting that ball back is everything for me because it's just going to help the team. I remember the play we had in Chicago where we attacked or something, and we were fighting for the ball, and they're in their 18-yard box, and Wilford said to us he had goosebumps because the crowd was standing up. And for me personally, I just want to win the ball back for the team and help us win the game.
You're a young player, obviously. I'm assuming aspirations, no matter what they are. You're playing against a team that features a player in Christian Benteke who's done a lot in his career.
Yeah.
How much of that do you focus on versus putting your energy into what the team needs to accomplish to be successful on Saturday?
Yeah, we know the personnel we're going to play. We know DC United. We remember them when we played them last year. I think all respect for Christian Benteke. He's had a great career in Europe. But we're focused on the task, and we're focused on how we're going to bring our best foot forward to win the game. And I think for me, like, he's an example of like another player who came from Europe, and I always idolize players who come from Europe to come here to see what they do so I can implement my game, because I always try to take different pieces from everybody.
Thank you.
Thank-
Just wondering, what mentality do you have going into this next game, given that the crew is undefeated so far?
I think we go into this game with the same mentality about how we've been defending, how we've been attacking, but also how we've been confident in each other, because, you know, in MLS it's hard getting going away and getting a result like we did San Diego. We were down a man, and we still ended up getting a 1-1 draw, which was fantastic from the team, even despite the red card. That was questionable, but, you know, I think it was just a really fought effort, and we can prove that away as well, and we can get a win.